Hi, I'm Michael.
And I'm Helen.
And we are the Presentation Maestro.
And today we're looking at 4 of the big mistakes that we see in people's presentations.
The first one of which is...
Slides!
God, yes.
Question that comes up time and time again is, how many should I use?
Well, we'll answer that one towards the end of this bit. But I think the first thing to say about it is slides are an aid to your presentation. They are not the presentation.
Yep.
And too often they become the presentation and you just become the voice accompaniment to showing them.
Yeah.
And you say presentation to most people, and the first thing they do is leap for PowerPoint. We think this is wrong. And worse still, you may get a well-meaning colleague or a boss who says, I prepared one for you. There's the deck. Off you go and use them. No.
Okay, so how many should you use?
Well, frankly, as few as you need to support your message.
And what should be on them?
Mostly visual stuff. Photographs, diagrams like this, and keep the words to a minimum.
To a minimum, yeah. So the key is less
is
more.
Definitely. Now, this second big mistake is almost everywhere, as in 98% of talks that we come across don't have it. Namely, they don't have an aim. And the aim of your talk, the purpose of your talk, is the reason for the audience to listen to you.
It's what's in it for them. It's the central message.
And it dictates which content or what content to use. And if you don't have an aim, not only can you wander all over the place, but you'll end up putting too much detail in the talk that frankly isn't necessary.
Yeah. So the aim is the thing that you should actually create first, not the slides. Go for the aim.
Absolutely. The third big mistake is one of my favourites, not.
This is all about language.
And in particular, jargon. Now, every profession seems to have its own professional speak. Whether it's banking or education or technology or pharmaceuticals, you name it. Every sector and every company has its own special speak sometimes. The danger is we think everybody understands what we're talking about, and frankly, they don't. And recently, one of our clients came up with a wonderful phrase, customer-centric delivery framework. Well, if you know what that is, answers on a postcard, please. But tell them about Darren.
Yes, we had a recent client, and she has a neighbour who is a carpenter called Darren. And to check her language in her presentation, she goes and she gives the presentation to Darren. And anything he doesn't understand, she knows she needs to change. So find yourself a Darren.
Yes, that's a very good thing to do. It really is. Find someone who knows nothing about what you do and present to them. And to summarise this part, imagine your audience are about 16 years old, but bright, on the ball 16 years old, with a very low boredom threshold, and don't know much about what you do. If you can keep 16-year-olds with you throughout your talk, you'll be doing damn well. And finally, signposting, or rather the lack of it. Let me demonstrate what I mean. If I was to signpost properly between what we've just talked about and what we're just about to talk about, it will go like this. Okay, that was our third point, our third big mistake about language and jargon. Let's now move on to our fourth and final big mistake, which is lack of signposting. Did you see that? A very clear, this is where we've been and this is where we're going. And if you put your signposts in the main body of your talk, you'll keep your audience with you. They'll know where they are. They'll feel looked after. So those are some of the 4 huge mistakes we find happening time and time again.
Yep.
And if you do what we suggested here, it will really help you stand out.
It will.
And if you'd like to know how to work with your mind in the way it works best to create outstanding presentations in a fraction of the time it takes you now, www.savetimeandshine.online.